You guys want an update, and I want to give it to you. But first I need to brief the people that are new here. So basically what's happened is my mother-in-law slapped my autistic 8-year-old son because he wouldn't share his favourite toy. So that was her form of punishment. So I went round there after the police and social services told me that there was nothing they could do because it was an isolated incident. And if it happened again, to call them again, but as an isolated incident, there was nothing they were going to do about it. So I went round there, I went up to her jewellery box and I put on all of the jewellery that her mum left her. I went downstairs and she demanded that I take it all off. I said no. And then I graced her with the same punishment she graced my son with because she needed to learn how to share. Now, you guys want to know what's happened since then, so let me fill you in because I'm now a single mum. She called the police. The same woman who slapped my 8-year-old autistic son around the face so hard, she left him cowering under her kitchen table with a red handprint on his cheek because he didn't want to hand over his favourite toy, suddenly became very interested in assault when it happened to her. So the police turned up and they wanted my side of the story, and I told them exactly what happened. I told them how she had tried to take something that didn't belong to her, how she tried to force my son to give it up. I told them how when he reacted, she slapped him around the face to teach him a lesson about sharing. And then I explained that all I had done was apply her own logic. I borrowed some jewellery. She didn't want to share. She got angry, and she got the exact same punishment she decided was appropriate for my child. The only difference was the person I slapped was a full-grown woman, and the person she slapped was an 8-year-old child. It's funny how one of those suddenly sounds a lot worse when you say it in comparison. But anyway, once everything was laid out, she was faced with a very awkward choice. Either what she did to my son was wrong, or what I did to her wasn't. And apparently she didn't like either option. So in the end, she realised she would be an absolute fool to take things any further. And actually, the brilliant policewoman who came to us, she, in not so many words, told her that. But it turns out the real problem wasn't ever my mother-in-law. It was my husband. Because instead of being furious that his mother hit our child, he was furious that I hit his mum. And he kept saying, "It's different. Apparently, when she did it, it was in the heat of the moment, but when I did it, it was planned." And according to him, that's so much worse. So I asked him a very simple question. If a stranger slapped our son, would you be defending them this hard? And he didn't answer, because he couldn't. So now my mother-in-law has her precious little boy back. He moved back in with her. And I'm staying right here with our child that he should have been protecting in the first place. Because I signed up to be a mother to one child, not a mother to a full-grown man who still needs someone to explain the difference between right and wrong. And as for my mother-in-law, the last image I have of her is her standing in her living room, absolutely raging after being slapped into next week by her own dead mother's rings. And honestly, I think that's the perfect ending to this story. She's just lucky her mum didn't leave her a toe ring.